What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Faircloth. Thank you for watching. This is yet another one of my live contributions to Bigger Pockets. I'm so excited for this because I love going doing the live stuff with you guys. Love just chatting live, talking about all the different stuff. So feel free to ask questions. This is an interactive presentation, so you guys are going to be able to ask questions to me while I give you guys a few talking points. Today we're going to talk about how to buy property with no money out of your own pocket, right? How do you buy real estate? Big real estate, small real estate, with none of your own money? Big question, right? Everybody wants to do that. Whether you don't have any money, that's okay. Whether you've got money but you want to preserve it and do deals while you preserve your stack of capital, because it's one thing that might get in the way of you being able to do deals is, well, I'm out of money. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some strategies that I'm going to teach you guys today about doing deals with none of your own money. Okay? So, hey, I got Ali, I got Justin, I got Tasha on Facebook. Or no, you guys are on YouTube. Let's get some shout outs on Facebook, see who's out. We got lots of peeps out on Facebook too. Cool. Paul Michael's on. What's up, Paul? So Paul, but the BRRRR strategy is easy, right? It's not easy, but that is a great strategy on the way to do it. And let's we'll probably start with that one, but maybe not. But it's actually, we're gonna go deep. We're gonna go more to the beginning of that one. Paul, we're gonna talk about how to get the property under contract with none of your own money. BRRRR strategy is possible to do as well. But I'm making a note because that's really awesome you put that down. I want you guys all to do me a favor while I'm waiting on a few more folks to join us. Do me a favor. Everybody like this video. Like right now. Give us a like because it'll tell the social media channel you're watching, be that Facebook or be that YouTube, that you like this video. I like it. And I think that you social media people, YouTube and Facebook, should show it to more people. And that's what they'll do. Is the more people that like this, the more people it'll propagate it to. More people. Let's see. Team, I got Lehigh Valley. I got best cities to invest in today. Santee. Depends, man, that's a huge conversation. Yamira says, woot woot. Corpus Christi, Texas in the house. New Jersey. Cool. All right. Here we go, guys. These are different strategies that I'm going to talk about on how to negotiate no money down, right? You can do the BRRRR strategy. Like the BRRRR strategy is definitely a way to do it. There's a whole book on that. But what I'm talking about is the way to get into the property, okay? To buy the property with no money down. The BRRRR strategy means that you bought it, you rented it, you renovated it, and then you refinanced it. You could have possibly had to spend some of your own money to do that, but you might not have. You might have used a no money down purchasing strategy, which we're going to talk about. I got 3. There's a lot more than just 3, but I got 3 I'm going to talk to you guys about today. Okay? So the first one is to get super creative. Okay? And super creative in the means of convincing the seller to be creative as well. There are different ways that you and the seller can work out a creative way for you to buy the property. Right? The seller really wants to sell. Maybe they're open to monthly payments, so maybe you can negotiate seller financing. My friend Gabriel was just on the BiggerPockets podcast, and he's done a ton of seller financing stuff. So just listen to this most recent podcast with Gabriel Hanel, and he'll tell you all about, and that podcast talks all about seller financing stuff. So maybe the seller's willing to hold paper for you. You don't know unless you ask. They may be interested in taking a monthly payment. If it's a rental property of theirs already, hey, what are you going to do since you don't have all this cash flow? What if I showed you a way that I could buy this property from you and you could continue to get cash flow from the property, but without even having to do any work? What if I did all the work and you continue to make the cash flow you're making, right? They may be intrigued by that. So that's one way that you could broach it, or there's other ways you can broach the subject to them and stuff like that. There's other ways to get the seller to be creative on your deal. One might be to get to talk to the seller about assuming the mortgage. This is something called buying the property subject to the existing mortgage. You can get them to do that. Not every seller is willing to do it. Not every seller is comfortable with it, because pretty much what it means is the mortgage is staying in their name. Okay, and you are going to start making payments on the property. Subject to is something that's a little interesting, a little dicey, because what if you stop paying? You know, there's got to be a lot of trust in there on their side, but you guys get phenomenal benefits from buying the property subject to, because that means that you're able to really take over in the middle of their amortization curve. It's been paid off a bit, probably getting the property at a little bit of a discount. And you're also not having to qualify for financing. You're just paying their financing for them, right? So those are a couple of ways. If you buy it subject to, or if you come up with seller financing, you're probably going to have to come out of pocket for some money to hand them. Here's a few options for money to hand that seller at closing. Number one, bring in a partner. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Number two, borrow it from another source. I've seen people, and this is like a little time bomb, but if you're doing a BRRRR strategy, you can do it, is to go get a 0% interest credit card, okay? If you have reasonable credit, get a 0% interest credit card and borrow 10, 15,000 off of it. That should be enough. Blend it in with seller financing, or blend it in with subject to mortgages, or blend it in with something else that you can get into the property with no money out of your own pocket. That'll give you that down money to produce closing costs and to buy the property as well, okay? Those are no money down options. Lines of credit that you can get from a local bank. Those are options too. We're going to talk more about the investor side in a second. I want to answer a few questions, give you a few shout outs before we do that. So let me jump in and do a few questions. Let's see, I got a bunch of questions on Facebook. Let me, cool, love this. Let's see, Jason loves the seller financing idea. That's awesome, Jason, thank you. And I'm going to drop a comment here. I think I can drop a comment on this. No, okay, well, buy a house with a credit card. Yeah, you can do that, Jeremy. You can buy a house with a credit card. About to start a 10-mile run, Joel. Nice. You guys are funny. Cool. Over on YouTube, I got a bunch of folks blowing up. Let's see. Let's see. Assemble. Am I able to get a construction mortgage to build a duplex without a job, but I have 2 fully paid properties? Would you qualify? Sure. So I think your 2 fully paid properties, December, is all you need. The fact that you've got those 2 properties paid off is really all you need, because that's enough collateral right there. You would have put a mortgage on those and use that mortgage to pay for your new construction. I am going to put a link here on YouTube. I bet you I can figure out how to do it on Facebook also. I want you guys all to go to BiggerPockets.com/webinars. BiggerPockets.com/webinars and register for my free webinar. It's free, not $10, not $10,000, not, come take my weekend boot camp, none of that. Just a free webinar, free education tonight from BiggerPockets.com at 8 p.m. Eastern. So stop what you're doing while we're talking right now. Everybody go out and register for my free webinar tonight, which is on tapping into unlimited sources of private money. There is $9 trillion with a T, $9 trillion in private money that's available through a specific source we're going to talk about tonight. And you guys all know somebody who has this source of private money. You cannot miss this. If you guys want to inject tons, trillions of dollars into your business, be on tonight's webinar, BiggerPockets.com/webinars. We're going to talk about how to tap into the $9 trillion of private money that's out there for you guys right now. Cool. Ace, what if I'm already 5 years into my current mortgage and I want to refi the property? Will the 5 years that I've already have into the property be added to 30-year term? Sure. Ace, you're going to start over again and you refinance. A refinance is a reboot. You're going to start over again on paying the mortgage down. Cool. Met me at Dealmaker Live. What's up, too? There's a ton. Paris has a ton of clauses that need to be in a subject to contract, but you can look them up online. You can look them up on BiggerPockets. But I recommend you just hire for contracts. I don't mess around. I just hire an attorney to draw up a contract for me for anything like that. There we go. I'm gonna put a comment real quick on Facebook also with the web link. BiggerPockets.com/webinars. Okay, I think I can pin. It might even let me pin that comment. Okay. Well, it's not letting me pin it. Okay. Well. Okay. Go to BiggerPockets.com/webinars. There's a link on Facebook. And there's a link on Facebook, link on YouTube on how to get there. Okay. So let's see. Oh, Jeremy, you buy a house with 0% credit card by doing this. You maybe I wasn't clear. You get yourself qualified for a 0% interest credit card. There typically will be 0% interest for 12 or 18 months. Okay, get the card first. Try and get a credit limit of somewhere between 10 to 20,000 bucks if you can, okay? And I cannot stress enough, these cards are like little hand grenades, okay, with the pin pulled out. Eventually, they will go off, they will blow up, and their rates will go really high. So you want to use it sparingly and use it for in and out type of money, because you'll end up owing all that debt if you don't get it paid off, if you don't get it off of that card sooner than later, right? So bottom line is you go and take out the card, and then you want to go and do a cash advance on the card. Okay, take the cash out, put it in your bank account, use it to buy the property. You can get a cash advance on the credit card, typically up to the limit on the line, and make sure this. And you want to get a card that has 0% interest on cash advances. Also, that's what you want to get. Not all cards have that. A lot of cards are 0% interest on balance transfers, meaning if you move your balance from this credit card to that credit card, then it's 0% interest. You don't want to do that. You want to do 0 on cash advances, because that's what you need to be able to do. That's how you produce the cash to do to buy. It's 8 o'clock. Jacob, it's 8 p.m. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. BiggerPockets.com/webinars to register for my webinar, it's now a comment on both the YouTube and the Facebook feed. So scroll down for that comment. You should be able to register for my webinar, BiggerPockets.com/webinars. Cool. Janine's already up here like, hey, American Express will give you guys 13,000 bucks. Love it. And Hayward read my book, Raising Private Capital. Thank you. Thank you, Hayward. Here's a high five for you. Pow. Cool. All right, next one. So the first one was work out a creative deal with the seller. Okay, we're just glazing on that one. That's something that we could go super deep on. But right now we talked about creative with the seller with regards to seller financing or buying the property subject to. Moving on to the next one. Okay. You want to, if you're getting a good enough deal, a property that needs work, you can negotiate a deal with a hard money lender, okay, or a private money partner. We're going to talk. A hard money lender is going to loan you the money, or a private money partner is someone in your own network that you know. That either one of those two folks are going to lend you money. The private money partner will probably listen to you more closely when you start talking about after repair value, meaning the property is going to be worth this when you fix it up and you're buying it for this, you're doing this much work to it. You can probably negotiate 100% financing with a private money partner that likes and trusts you, especially if you agree to have them loan you the construction money you need over a period of time. Don't give me all the money up front to buy the property and the construction and everything. Give me the money I need to buy the property, then give me the construction money as I need it, okay? Because then they can protect their upside. They can protect themselves of letting you getting ahead of them, giving you more money than you need at any given time, or giving you money for a property that's only worth this when you're going to be investing this into it. It's called construction draws, and get them to agree to construction advances as you need the construction dollars. Okay, that's the way for them to have a win-win with you. They're not getting ahead. You're not getting ahead of them. They're not getting ahead of you. There is exact instructions on how to do this in my book, Raising Private Capital. That book talks all about how to set up a construction loan with somebody. Okay, so do that, and again, the deal's got to have enough equity, enough upside value that they would be willing to loan you 100%. It's got to be someone who's got a good relationship with you, that likes and trusts you because you're you, that's in your personal network. But it's very possible to set up that arrangement. Hard money lender's not likely going to do this, because a hard money lender, even if they might like you personally, they have business terms that they're not going to loan 100% of the purchase price and construction. But a private money lender might. Okay. If it's a hard money lender that you got to use, then you might have to use my credit card strategy to fill in the gap. Okay, or you might have to use strategy in step number 3, which we're going to get to. Okay, because step number 3 does not involve a credit card. It involves another strategy, which I will teach you, but I've not taught you yet. I'm going to give you a few shout outs. Okay, Jeremy, what would you use the cash advance money towards? Down payment, closing, remodeling? Yes. Use it for whatever you want. More importantly, down money and closing, because then that gets you to closing, and you bring in a lender to fund the rest, right, Jeremy? So that's what you would use the credit card money for. You could use it perhaps some renovation money as well. It depends on the interest rate. If you're really borrowing at 0, I would suggest you probably use it for as much as you can. Borrow as much as you can from it, from that line, because your lender, your private money partner that you meet through my book, Raising Private Capital, or your hard money lender or whatever, is going to have a higher interest rate than your credit card will. If you're going to to it subject to, then there might be a lower rate. But that bank that you're the mortgage you're assuming, that bank is not going to give you any money for construction. So you probably have to use a credit card for that too. Cool. Questions on YouTube? Man, YouTube's blowing up with people. Okay. I have to scroll back. Can you talk about OPM and when the property's under? Oh, absolutely, JS. I'll be talking about OPM. That's kind of sort of number 3. Please send it to YouTube too. I did. If you scroll down, look on YouTube under a little bit further up from your comment. There's the web link, biggerpockets.com/webinars. I just got private money for a property from a former coworker. There you go, Jason. Bam. That's how you do it, man. People that you know that like and trust you because you're you. Julie, 0% interest, but a 3% fee for balance transfer. You can do that. 3% fee is not the end of the world. $100,000 for $3,000. I'll do that. I'm almost closing on my first deal. Man, you guys are. Can you say what percent you would give a private? Oh, sure. So Neil wants to know what percentage I would give a private money partner when I raise. I probably would pay between 8 and 9% is what my typical interest rates are now. So how many owner finance deals have I done? Julian wants to know. I believe I've done probably around at least a half dozen on smaller stuff. Bigger property owners tend to not want to do that. But I got a 4-family I bought on seller financing. I bought and sold it, but I bought it, renovated it, and sold an 8-unit on seller financing one time. That was a while ago, though. So yeah, I did smaller stuff too. Y'all go by raising private money. 5 stars on Amazon. It's Raising Private Capital, man. It's the name of my book, Julian. But thank you. Raising Private Capital. I love it. How do you explain the pitch owner financing to the owner? Okay. All right. Here you go, Julian. For you, my friend. I'm going to give you a quick, 15-second pitch on private money, because Gabriel Hamill, the guy that was just on the BiggerPockets podcast, did a full what's the word? Well, he did a mock interview with role play thing. He did a role play thing with David Green on the BiggerPockets podcast, and they went through it. But I'll give it to you quick. These people that are trying to sell property, trying to figure out what their why is that they're selling. If they're selling because they just can't handle it anymore, or because they don't want to deal with the hassles of owning the property again, but they're older, it's their primary source of income, they're ripe for the picking for seller financing, because at the end of the day, they're relying on the check that property's producing, and so instead of them dealing with running around with it anymore, they're going to just bite the bullet and sell it, and hopefully they can reinvest that money somewhere else. But you could be able to write them a check for all, or for some or all of the cash flow they're making on the property. Because if they're making $1,000 a month, what if I can pay you $1,000 a month? What are you making in cash flow now? Well, I'm making X. Okay, great. What if I could pay that, or a fraction of that? No hassle. I'll take over the property. I'll make those monthly payments to you. To bottom line, Julian, you want to speak to the seller in language they understand, which is to them is what will make the most sense to them is monthly payments. You don't start saying hey, we could draw up a mortgage and a note and everything like that, and I could owe you the money, because that doesn't sound like it's very favorable to them. You want to speak to them in a means that's favorable to them. But what if I sent you a monthly check for $2,000 every month? What if I sent that to you? Every month like clockwork, or I could even ACH and wire it to you. You want to speak from a cash flow perspective. That's what they want to hear. Fixed income is what they want to hear. If they start talking about security, well, you have security on the property. You'll have a lien on the property. You could come, God forbid, if I stop making payments, you could come and take the property back very quickly. So that's how you want to set it up. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's only me talking to you guys. It's kind of hard for me to role play it, but those are the buttons you want to push. Thanks, Julian. You're a regular on my lives, man. I love you for that. Cool. Fatima, are there a message you would recommend for a first-time buyer? First-time buyer, Carmela, I probably would go to live in the property first. I would go, unless you want to do no money down like I'm talking today, I would do 3% down FHA. buy a 2, 3, or 4 unit property, live in one unit, rent the rest of them out. That's what I would do personally. Um, Hanson, are there conventional loans that are 3% up down? I've also purchased down. I'm not sure. I talked to a mortgage broker about that. I'm not sure what's available these days. Um, would you rather do personal capital up front or seller take? Would you rather do full personal capital up front investment or take seller financing? I'd take seller financing all day and keep personal capital in my pocket as best I can. Cool. All right, guys, listen. I'm gonna jump on to the next point. You guys are really blowing me up. I love this. Now we're gonna talk about option number 3. Let's review them real quick. Option number 1. You can do something creative with the seller, meaning seller financing, or get them to agree to you taking the property subject to the existing mortgage. That's number 1. Number 2, borrow money. Okay, borrow money from a hard money lender. Borrow money out of your own network. Which, by the way, Jeff asked, well, how do they get their money back? They get the money back when you sell or you refinance a property. So if it's a fix and flip, once you sell it, they get their money. If it is a BRRRR property, as soon as you refinance it, they get paid. Okay. Now, number 3. You read my book, Raising Private Capital, which in my book we talk about private money partners, equity partners, not lenders. You bring in someone who is a money partner and you say, hey, listen, Uncle Charlie, I need $50,000 to buy this 4-family that's really dilapidated, and I've got the seller to agree to seller financing, but I need $50,000 to close it and to renovate it. Okay, Uncle Charlie, what if you put up 50 grand and I buy the property, I'll do all the legwork. You're more than welcome to come by anytime you want. I'll give you a set of keys. You can come check on it anytime you want to see it. And what if we set that up? And I'm going to renovate the property, refinance it to give you your money back, and then after I refinance it, we'll own it 50-50. Okay, I'll do all the work, you put up the money, and we'll have a 50-50 split. Uncle Charlie might say yes. He might say yes to something like that. That sounds like a pretty good deal, especially for him not having to do any work. But what you want to do, the bottom line that you're doing is you're giving some ownership of the property away to someone that that has money, and that they're not loaning it to you. They're coming in as a partner of yours, okay? And they get paid as a percentage of cash flow, or if you sell the property, they would get a chunk of the profit from the sale too. However you structure that, that's how they're going to get paid, okay? Cool. Okay, that's it. Now questions. I'm gonna jump over to YouTube because YouTube's got questions too. Facebook's got questions. I got questions. Julie, I don't like giving the bank my money. Person to person is best for all of us. I love it, Julie. Thank you, because you're helping other people reach their wealth goals. That's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because yes, you could probably figure out how to run this business without working with private money, but you're really helping out other individuals and helping them achieve another way to wealth aside from relying on Wall Street, right? They're able to reach their wealth goals and their financial goals through working with you versus working with a stockbroker or with Wall Street or something like that. And it's not that those things are evil. It's just that there's only really one way to financial freedom there, which is if the stock market goes up, you invest there and hopefully you catch a wave and hopefully you get lucky and pick the right stocks. Whereas with a private loan, there's more collateral. Private equity, there's more collateral too, even in that. So I believe that we can build our real estate investing business while we help people build their long-term wealth. That's my belief, Julie. So thank you for calling that out. And a lot of that's in the book, Raising Private Capital. Tonight, guys, I gotta keep plugging this because I'm excited about it because it's my favorite topic. I'm teaching a webinar tonight on how to tap into the $9 trillion with a T. There's $9 trillion out there that we can all have access to. I've put a lot of it to work already. You guys need to do your share and put it to work as well. There's $9 trillion in private money that we all have access to. And you guys already know people that have access to this money. They just might not know it. And you might not know it. I'm teaching this webinar tonight to show you guys what this source of $9 trillion of private money is, what it is, how to find it, how to convince people that have it to work with you, and how to unwind it and everything. All you need to know about this $9 trillion source of private money, and that is tonight on a webinar for BiggerPockets at biggerpockets.com/webinars. biggerpockets.com/webinars. You guys want to go there and register for that webinar, and it's free. Okay? I'm going to tell you a little secret. Even if you can't be there, go and register, because BiggerPockets will send you the recording of the webinar by email. And all you got to do is listen to it between now and Wednesday at midnight, and you can still learn with me. Okay? So tonight, tonight, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to biggerpockets.com/webinars to register. It's a free webinar. It starts at 8 p.m. sharp tonight. I want to see all you guys there. A couple more questions, then I got to jump. And I love your questions, so keep them coming. Kazi, what are your thoughts on 3% conventional assistance as long as it cash flows? If you can do it, I mean, it depends on what the rate is on that down payment assistance. And if it's one of those things where you got to give them equity in the house, I wouldn't do it, because there's down payment assistance companies out there where you got to give them upside equity. Forget it. I wouldn't do that. Julian, bam, thanks, Matt. You're welcome. Kazi, keep calling on small banks and tiny credit unions that no one's heard of. That's right. Small banks and credit unions are the ones that are willing to lend on your deal, that are local to the project. Daniel, if you want a house hack, do you fit your numbers? Are you a tenant if you use a BP calculator? Yeah. So what you want to do, Daniel, is if I were doing a house hack, I'd put the deal into the BP calculator as if I wasn't living there. Okay, and then it'll calculate the cash flow, and God forbid that what that'll tell you is what the property would cash flow if you moved out, or if you had to start paying yourself rent. And what you'll know is that okay, let's say who are you, Daniel? Okay, let's say, Daniel, that you run the deal and it's a really good one. Let's say it's like a three family, and you're gonna live in one unit. And and even with you if you put somebody in your unit, let's say the property cash flows $1,000. Okay. That means that if somebody were living in the apartment you're going to live in, the property would cash flow $1,000. Now let's reverse engineer that, Daniel. What that means is that you could you could charge up to $1,000 for that apartment. Okay, and it's still, the property would still cash flow. Meaning, if you take that apartment out of the property, if you kind of remove that apartment and you move into it, that as long as your rent that you would have been paying yourself for that apartment is less than $1,000, you're in the black. You're positive. If it's more than $1,000, let's say that apartment would have rented for $1,500, then all you got to pay is $500. Right? You pay $500, you break even. So that the BP calculator will be able to tell you how much rent you can pay or how much rent you don't have to pay in general, or create a discount you want to give yourself based on cash flow. And then once you move out, it will cash flow that much, if that makes sense. You have to back into it, Daniel, but I'd put it all in and assume that there's somebody living there and it'll start to make sense. But to answer your question, that's what I would do. Let's see. A few more questions. What is your opinion on rental properties as opposed to Airbnb? I've never done any Airbnbs at Durham, so I wouldn't be able to speak to you about that. I've never done an Airbnb deal. Maybe I'm late to the party. Thanks, Julian. I love that. Somebody quoted my book today. I put it on Facebook. It was one of my favorite quotes in the book. It was, if you want to live a bigger life, you got to learn to become a bigger person. I think that's what I said. It's maybe paraphrasing, but I love the quote. And somebody put it on Facebook. Tashias, is it okay to pay the mortgage yourself instead of paying the owner with the subject to strategy? Yes. So Tashias, that's what you want to do. You want to pay, let's say they have a mortgage with Wells Fargo, okay? You want to start making those payments directly to Wells Fargo. You do not want to send it to the prior owner and have them forward it to Wells Fargo. You want to send it direct to Wells Fargo every month, okay? So that's how you want to do it. And you're just going to contact Wells Fargo and change the address. Change the address from there, wherever they are, to your office so that you make sure you're getting those statements. Joyce, with $100,000, would you recommend buying two $50,000 houses fully paid, or buy 4 properties, $25 down in each, and have the loans, or what would you suggest? It would all depend on the neighborhood, Joyce, because a $50,000 property free and clear is going to be different than a 4 properties at $25,000 down. I probably, given how cheap money is these days, Joyce, I probably would go for the financing option. I'd buy more property with less down. That's what I would do. But it would also depend on the area. Cool. What about Lending Club? I'm not sure about Lending Club obscurity. I think I would share peer-to-peer sites and stuff like that. I'm not sure how big they'll go on those, how big of a loan that they'll give you. So I would check that. You know, if you can borrow like 50,000 or 100,000 with collateral, it might be worth talking about it. Yeah, JS, you're probably right. Some hard money lenders won't go down that small under 100,000. Some will. Cool, Jason. Gabriel's great people, man. Like 2 or 3 more questions, and I gotta jump. See an abandoned house with abandoned stickers on the windows and doors. However, there's no contact information. What should I do? Just Turkey. Just go to a local title company. Give them the address. Have the title company run an owner search on the property. They can give you the owner's name within like a day, or you can run to the county clerk's office in the county that the property's in. Go to the county clerk and say you want to do a property search. Just give them the address. They'll tell you who the owner is. Looks like I need the book. Cool. One last time, guys. Listen, I'm gonna put it in here one last time in the feed because I really want to see all you guys on my webinar. BiggerPockets.com/webinar. Okay. Come to tonight's webinar. It's going to be a phenomenal conversation. It's going to be about tapping into the 9 trillion with a T, dollars that's out there right now in private money that you guys all know somebody who has access to. I'm going to show you guys how to find it, how to close it, how to set it up tonight. BiggerPockets.com/webinars. It is 8 p.m. Eastern time. You guys need to be there or be square. And even if you can't be there, register for it because the BiggerPockets will get you guys a copy of the recording and you can watch that later. You can watch that between now and Wednesday at midnight. So that's what I want you guys to do. Register for my webinar tonight. You guys can access the $9 trillion of private money that's out there. I'll show you guys how to do it. It's going to be a great conversation. I don't want you guys to miss it. It's one of my favorite conversations I like to have with you guys because it really shows you guys how to create win-win arrangements with people that are considering investing with you. Okay? So that's what I got, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope I see all you guys at the BiggerPockets conference in October. I will be there. My lovely wife will be there. We can't wait to hang with all you guys in Nashville. Have a great day, guys. I love all of you. Here's your high fives. Bow, 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 bow. Take care. Bye-bye.